There's a lot of first and second year players in this locker room. Do you feel like the old guy in that regard? And can you relate to some of these kids, as it seems by comparison? Or
Yeah, no, I think I'm in the unique spot with the team that we have where I'm kind of in the middle. Yeah, like I'm on the older side of it, but still, I'm only going into year 4 now, so I can very easily relate back to being a first and second year guy. I can definitely understand the ebbs and flows of what is coming in this training camp and they don't know yet, and or how it is just approaching it. So. Like I said, since OTA, just trying to be a resource for those guys, trying to go out there every day and be consistent, be somebody that they can look to that's doing the right things as much as I can to give that positive example.
Aaron was talking about yesterday about how he's usually been more of a lead by example guy, but he's kind of taken upon himself to be more vocal this year because of all the guys have been gone. Have you noticed that? Any examples of that? Have you seen that from him? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is going into year 7 for him now, and he's been a leader, and I've talked about that in the past. Obviously, he's helped me out a lot, getting my wits about me coming into the league and playing with him. But he's definitely stepped into more of a vocal role, like you're saying, if that's what he said. You see him in the huddle kind of getting the offensive line going before we go out in a competition period, just kind of encouraging the guys, all right, here we go, which is great. And, it's awesome. Definitely, a couple guys who were doing that role left, and so he stepped up into that and done a great job so far throughout camp.
Like a nice hot day, AJ?
Yeah, apparently we lucked out. I try not to look at the weather because then you kind of go into it like, dang, it's going to be a hot one. But I was hearing that it could have been a lot hotter. It was supposed to be a lot hotter, so definitely count our blessings there. But, it's always good to get a little sweat, especially at the beginning part of camp, get back into it.
AJ, what do you make of the current running back situation? You're in a contract year, and that's kind of the talk of the league right now, how running backs are not getting paid the way other position groups are.
Yeah, I mean, there's no shock there. They definitely are not getting paid like other positions are. But, my focus is going ahead and getting paid in general. Right now, I'm not really in a standpoint to, be on any pedestal. I need to go out there, do what I need to do. And, I'm looking to put myself in the best position, for a second contract for me and my family, and then this team in the best position to go win a Super Bowl.
Is that why you wrote a book, for some extra cash?
Nah, I definitely didn't do it for the cash. I would have had to come out with the series. So maybe if you start seeing me come out with book number 2 and 3, if this one starts doing well, then then I was definitely selling out. But no, it's just fun little side project, man. I love to be involved, do other things besides football, especially in the off season when we have some time to kind of venture out, see, football is a very short span, see what other opportunities I can have, whatever other avenues I can be involved in. And, it was an awesome networking event, being able to talk to authors and publishers and things that I would have never met in any other circumstance. So it's great to use the platform I have now and diversify a little bit.
When did you get the idea for it?
The book?
Yeah.
Over the off season, I kind of tweeted out one day, maybe a couple of weeks after the Super Bowl. I was like, hey, I said, I'm going to write a children's book. I was in Barnes & Noble with my wife. I was like, I'm going to write a children's book. And we were laughing about it, and then a bunch of people on Twitter were like, go ahead and do it. And I was like, all right, I'll try. And, I kept everything in-house. We got a Milwaukee publisher, Milwaukee illustrator, and, it was all Wisconsin Central, and it was a lot of fun doing it and putting it together. And it was the goal to get it done before camp, and we did that, and it's had a great turnout so far.
Do you remember being a little kid and being read to at home, maybe by a teacher in class, and how important that is?
I do. So education and literature has been, something that I've been involved in forever. My mom's a teacher. She's now an assistant principal back in Connecticut, in my hometown. So, that's something that was always big in our household. When I told her I was writing the book and actually went forward with it, she got very emotional. And then I didn't really realize it until I did some of these book readings and, kind of seeing the kids really listening and hanging on to every single word. Even though it's a very short children's book, they're hanging on to every single word. And, I'm getting tagged in things of, oh, my son loves this book, and this is what we have to read every night before he goes to bed. And, if it's whatever it is, whether it's football, whether it's the dinosaurs, whether it's the colors, whether it's me, it doesn't matter. The fact that some of those kids are excited to go read, that's a big deal. And I can definitely, coming from an education household, with my mom being a teacher, I definitely understand, how hard it is to get some kids to read. So if we can put something in front of them that they want to read, you know, it was a definitely nice to, you know, be able to do my part.
So whose job could you take since you're a big-time writer in here?
Since I'm a big-time writer, you know, I've always loved journalism, so this badge is looking pretty good.
Did you have a favorite children's book?
Yeah, I used to love like Rick Riordan, like the Lightning Thief series. That was like my middle school. Like I read all those like Rick Riordan books. I loved Greek mythology, and that whole series. That was a lot of fun.
You've written one book. What do you hope is next for you to come?
You know, just get a series going. You know, who knows? Maybe turn it into a show, Quadzilla.